every Thursday. And just before we went on that break, we were discussing the EPL, so we need to finalize on the EPL. I'll just rush through some of the results on Sunday very quickly. Brentford beating Aston Villa by 1-0. Man United, of course, this we'll discuss. Man United versus Fulham, that one ended 3-2 in favour of United. Nottingham Forest, Crystal Palace, that one ended 1-1. Tottenham versus Man City ending 2-2. Now, very quickly, because some of the matches that were played on Sunday literally have started shaping the top four of the English Premier League table. And I want us to start with Aston Villa versus Brentford, because this match went in favour of Brentford, and 10-man Brentford, and they got the red card pretty early on in the first half, but then they were able to hold on to their lead. And this affects Unai Emery's chances of winning the Premier League.
Well, Unai Emery, suddenly, we did mention earlier, he's leading, or his team is top favourite to win the Europa League. But now, shifting back to England after a very successful outing in the midweek in the Europa League, coming back to the league, not able to break down a 10-man Brentford. Is it about the depth of the squad coming to bite him eventually, not having options, how to break down such a team? And the other interesting thing is that now he's brought back Tammy Abraham, who had a very good time the last time he was playing for Aston Villa before he went out on his travels that took him to Italy, first with Roma, then Milan, then out into Turkey. Then now he's back. Maybe they're missing such players, such a player who you can use as a target man, that you can hit directly, you can throw balls at directly in the box when games get tied down. Sometimes when you're playing against a 10-man team, the natural thing that they'll do is park the box, and it becomes very difficult for you to play through the lines. So sometimes you need to raise that ball, throw it in there, and maybe having that target man or that type of footballer, big frame in that box could be helpful for them. But yes, this changes the frame of the league. And then the other game, Mariah, Manchester City versus Tottenham, again going in the way the weekend had gone. West Ham United leading by 2 goals, then eventually losing the game 3-2. The other game, Newcastle versus Liverpool.
Yeah.
Newcastle United leading in that particular game, and then Liverpool coming back, and eventually it was a rout, 4-1. The same thing happens here. Manchester City are leading, comfortable. Early goal, Ryan Cherky in the 11th minute. Antoine Semenyo, who's got his firing boots, he's got into the Etihad, and he started. His career has just gotten off to a flyer, scoring the second goal. Then after that, again, second half, Solanke with 2 well-taken goals, tying it for 2-2. I don't know what was happening in that.
Let's talk about the Scorpion goal, because there was a Scorpion goal, and by a Scorpion goal I mean a goal that was scored using the heel, and that was for his second goal of the game, and Tottenham's second, and could be a contender for the Puskas Award.
Oh yes, some of the goals we saw this weekend were totally off the charts, and this is one of them. Dominic Solanke tying that result eventually for 2-2. What that means is Arsenal have a 7-point lead, 6-point lead. At the top. So those are 2 games ahead of Manchester City. And what does that look like? Does it also open up the door? People are not only looking at the top, at the distance between Arsenal and the positions 2 and 3, but then they're not looking below, because below the guys
position 4 to position 10,
position 6, 4 to 6 for starters.
Okay,
they're rising and they're closing that gap very, very quickly. So you could have yet another very, very open Premier League by the time we're closing the month of February.
Well, we could have a very open Premier League by the time we're closing the month of February. Final game for Sunday that I want us to discuss: Manchester United 3, Fulham 2. That game looked like it had also gone away from Manchester United. Kevin scoring a brilliant goal, second goal there for Fulham, and the celebrations that were online. I remember Silva, the Fulham coach, really celebrating, and then by the time he was finishing celebrating, Manchester United was celebrating on the other end.
Yep, that's the thing, and we're still talking about the weekend. And the weekend, this is what we call a comeback weekend, because that's exactly what it was. At some point, Fulham seemed to have snatched a point, but as you said, by the time they were celebrating, Benjamin Sesko comes in and scores that winner for Manchester United. The resurgence for Michael Carrick, it seems he's having a straight 3 for 3, I think.
Yes.
Yeah?
3 for 3, and very soon we might be shaving my beard. I don't want to really talk about that. We take a break.
Two more matches. Two more matches. Anyoe.
When we come back,
two more matches.
Hiyo mambo ya ndevu tulibaliza.
Tulisema ni game 5.
When we come back, we will be discussing the Kenyan Premier League.
Unyoe.
Extra. The Sports Garage. Extra.